Now a group of young Republicans talk about the future of their party. The event was hosted by the Young Republican National Federation and was moderated by Margaret Hoover, the great-granddaughter of President Herbert Hoover.
The next question I have is about a couple of deficits we're running on the Republican side. Of course, nationally, we all know that deficits have tripled. The national debt has doubled. But in the Republican Party, and this is not a financial question, even though I sort of set it up as such, there is a diversity deficit, there is an age deficit, and there's a gender deficit. And I thought I would throw it out. Here's a statistic for you. 19% of voters born after 1977 are Republicans. That makes you all a very unique select group. And me, by the way, I'm one of you. Special. 41% are independents, 40% are Democrats. What do we do about the deltas here? I mean, there are young Republicans are a shrinking species. What do we do about young Republicans, diversity in the Republican Party, and also the gender gap as well? Do you mind if I start?
This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people or the white culture.
Here you have a black president trying to destroy a white policeman. I think he's genuinely revved up about race. You know me. I think he is genuinely angry in his heart and has been his whole life.
I think he is a racial opportunist.
I had a dream. I had a dream that I was a slave building a sphinx in a desert that looked like Obama.
He has a problem. This guy is, I believe, a racist.
And after that, they're going to go after Oreos. Might have to put that off till Obama's out of office, but they'll eventually go after Oreos.
I'm not blaming the Democrats for 9/11 alone. I'm blaming them also for the Cole bombing, for the embassy bombings, for 20 years of attacks that have not been stopped. Liberalism is a religion. It is just not God-based. It is precisely in opposition, the opposition party to God. This is a party that supports killing, lying, adultery, thievery, envy.
That's ridiculous.
And they're going to call, I mean, their platform is violating the Ten Commandments.
We were thinking of
the Ten Commandments one by one, and they're talking about evil. The left keeps using human shields to promote its half-baked liberal bromide.
This women did not seek their celebrity status. They are not trying to hang on to 15 minutes
They didn't seek to be celebrities.
Absolutely not. They willed their husbands to be attacked.
Did they just trip into
Let me
that
ask you
Vanity
this.
Fair
And
photo?
do you think they would not give this up to get their husbands back?
I don't know. Can't read into their hearts, but it isn't as obvious to me as it apparently is to you.
You don't think so?
And you never
You've got to be kidding me.
They're big celebrities.
Laura, you can respond to her.
You look at the broad platform so I can be a victim
these women are not liberal.
And then John Murtha, and you said the reason soldiers invented fragging. You've taken a lot of heat for that. In context, these are just off the top of your head remarks regarding a whole list of people. What's been your reaction to the criticism that you've taken for the Murtha comment?
I wasn't aware I had taken criticism, but I'm glad some of my best lines are getting out.
You don't have any reservations about that line?
No.
You're not suggesting that anybody should off John Murtha?
It is what it is.
I think these civil rights leaders are nothing more than racist. They're keeping their neighborhoods and their African-American brothers enslaved, if you will, by continuing to let them think that they're, or force them to think that they're victims, that the whole system is against them. Articulate it better, Sean. It's so sad to me.
We can't even say you're articulate. We can't even give you guys compliments.
Half of the kids in this country under 5 years old are minorities. White people are having fewer. Put it bluntly, we need more babies.
I dealt with people like this for 20 years. They will get up every day, they will kill somebody and go have some chicken at KFC.
Crime and out of wedlock birth, black folks having babies, not being married and stuff like that is out of control. And it's not because they lack material things, but because not all, right, but most of them lack moral character. Look what they did to the dome. In 3 days, they turned the dome into a ghetto.
The reason that he's considered such a big deal is simply because he's black.
He is a black candidate surrounding himself with a lot of white advisors.
He represents some sort of hope of bringing us all together anyway. And again, I think the only reason that looks plausible is because we see something about his being brown that creates that. It's almost like he's mammy.
As it relates to Kramer in this, Kramer used the N-word repeatedly. Does that bother you?
No, that doesn't bother me. Black folk, especially racist blacks, have the freedom of expression when it comes to the issue of race and morality. But white folks are made to be quiet.
We always love having you. Appreciate it. Proud to be on your board at Bond. Thank you. New information has recently come to light regarding the Trinity Unity Church in Chicago. And that's the one that Senator Barack Obama calls home. What they have at this church on their website is, you know, commitment to the black community, commitment to the black family, adherence to the black work ethic. Is it racist, Jesse Lee?
It is absolutely racist.
Are they worshiping Christ? Are they worshiping African things, black?
Barack Obama is associated with the racist church.
They really are quite cultish, quite separatist.
Mr. Rush, I have a question. Are you questioning Barack Obama's Christianity?
Yeah.
Recent police shootings involving African-American victims across the U.S. has led to a string of angry protests from outraged black community members.
Most police officers are good, honest, hardworking men and women. But there is a culture of police officers out there that represent a legalized gang.
We got to run.
And we need to recognize it and do it.
If there's any national disgrace, it's your rush to judgment in this particular case and your use of racial politics for your own aggrandizement. That is the national disgrace. The national disgrace.
Well, the shut-up line has happened only once in 6 years.
Want to know what I was doing?
Shut up. I'm asking you to shut up about sex. Quiet! Listen, cut his mic.
No, that's
shut up.
No,
you had your 35 minutes. Shut up. And it is our duty as loyal Americans to shut up and shut up publicly. We expect every American to support our military, and if they can't do that, to shut up. Okay. So you keep your mouth shut.
In a democracy, you don't have to shut up. Speak up.
We have as a country right now is for Osama bin Laden to deploy and detonate a major weapon in the United States. Only Osama can execute an attack which will force Americans to demand that their government protect them effectively, consistently, and with as much violence as necessary.
To the rest of us, that sets them up as a superior race. They are better than we are. And you know who came up with the terminology of the superior race. It sounds a bit like this.
Friends, the Democrats, oh, they hate Iraq, but Darfur, they want to stop the genocide in Darfur because they're black. Democrats need black votes. Look no further. They supported ending apartheid in South Africa. They backed Nelson Mandela. Look, I am no racist. I just think the world would be a better place if whites still controlled South Africa and Nelson Mandela was rotting in prison.